Alrighty, friends, DMR yesterday. Yesterday, there was a mistake and your name counted as a point and it should not have. So I apologize for that mistake. It did not count against you because remember, none of these days count against you because they're just practice. Your graded assessment is only on Fridays. Alrighty, question number 1, read carefully. Jessica said that 1/3 is greater than 1/2 because 3 is greater than 2. Is she correct? Choose the best answer. Hopefully you guys know that she is not correct. If we draw 1/3, ooh, that was a terrible 1/3. If we draw 1/3, there we go, and we draw 1/2, and then we shade 1/3, we can see that 1/3 is smaller, less than 1/2, because 1/2 takes up more of the circle. So, no, she is not correct because a whole divided into 3 parts has smaller parts than if the whole was divided into 2 equal parts. This is your correct answer, C. Ready? Number 2, perimeter is equal to sides plus sides plus sides plus sides plus sides plus sides plus however many sides the polygon has. Abigail drew this polygon below. That's a funky looking shape. The perimeter of the polygon is 83 inches. What is the missing side length? So 83 inches is equal to question mark plus 7 plus 15 plus 7 plus 12 plus 20. That's a lot of addition, Miss Sousa. You're right, kids. You can do it. So we are figuring out what is missing right here. So we've got to figure out what we know. 12 and 20 equals 32. 15, 7, and 7 is equal to 29. 29 and 32 are equal to 61. So we have 61 inches that we do know. We're supposed to be at 83. So 83 subtract the 61 inches that we do know gives us a total of 21, 20, oh, I apologize, 22. Dang it, I got excited about my joke and messed it up. 22 inches. So 22 inches, A, is what is missing from this perimeter because we would need to add 22 inches to equal 83. Questions on that? All right. Next up, Mavis is making a tile pattern in the shape of a square. One side is 8 inches across. What is the area of the tile pattern? Area is equal to length times width. Miss Sousa, they only told us one of those. A square has 4 equal sides. So if this side equals 8, this side also equals 8. This side also equals 8. This side also equals 8 because a square has 4 equal sides. Thank you, Tim. I saw you mouthing that with me. Let's go, sir. Well done. All right, so we know that area is equal to length times width, and our length here is 8. Our width here is 8. 8 times 8 is equal to 64. And we need to make sure that we've got an area label. So it is 64 inches squared. Some of y'all got tricked and chose 64 inches, and that's wrong because it's not squared. So make sure you have the label squared. Okay. Final question. Final two questions. Chris has 81 pennies to stack equally into 9 piles. Which equation can help you find 81 divided by 9? So if we have 9 piles and we got to get to 81 items, that is going to take a long time. So I'm going to work smarter, not harder, and I'm going to think about my fact families. Yay! So I know that I have 9 piles, and I know that I have to get to 81. That means we are missing a number. Fact families have 3 numbers. So I am starting with 81 items, dividing them by 9. I could find the answer to that by remembering the opposite, which is 9 times question mark equals 81. Fact families. It's not even asking you for an answer. So if you started drawing 81 dots yesterday, oof, that was a lot of work, but you didn't read very carefully. Now we're to the final question. Candace looked at a clock when she left home for her soccer game. She looked at the clock again when she got back home after the game. How long was Candace away from home? Well, we're going to look at our hour hand. Our hour hand is after the 4. It is not yet to the 5, so it is in the 4 o'clock hour. Our minute hand is at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It is 4:25. Oops, I wrote 4:24. 4:25. Okay, so start time is 4:25. Stop time, let's again look at the hour hand. It is after the 6. It is not yet to the 7, so it is 6. Minute hand is 5, 10, 15. So it is 6:15. So again, our start time is 4:25. Our stop time is 6:15. I noticed that this is only 10 minutes away from a new hour. I also noticed that from 4 to 6 is 2 hours. So we have 2 hours minus 10 minutes. I know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so if I subtract 10 minutes, that is 1 hour and 50 minutes. Okay, so your answer is 1 hour and 50 minutes. If you wanted to, Miss Bram is also drawing a timeline of an option. So we were at 4:25, and we can hop a whole hour to 5:25. We can't hop a whole nother hour, so now I'm going to start hopping minutes. 5:25 plus 10 minutes is 5:35. Plus 10 minutes is 5:45. Plus 10 minutes is 5:55. Plus 10 minutes is 6:05. Plus another 10 minutes is 6:15. So we can see that we have hopped 5 tens and 1 hour. Okay. Alrighty, friends, there is your DMR. Again, remember, DMR this week is showing you a lot of word problems because that is what you are going to encounter on iLearn next week. Lots of reading, lots of word problems for you, okay? Yes, Daniel.
Are you going to be our teacher for iLearn?
I am, yes.
Yay.
Thank you. All right, friends, here we go. You are going to continue your work today with your notebook from yesterday. Okay, so go ahead and grab your notes on quadrilaterals. We have 2 more quadrilaterals to write about that we're going to add to our chart today. Okay. All right. You have an activity on Seesaw that is called classifying quadrilaterals. I want you to go ahead and add a response there, and that is going to have the same notes pages that we were using from yesterday inside of it. Okay? Classifying quadrilaterals. We know that a quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles. We took notes on a rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 2 pairs of parallel sides. A square is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. So a square can be a rhombus, but a rhombus might not be a square. Rectangle, we took notes on. That's a quadrilateral that has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Here is a pair, and here is the other pair. So that's 2 pairs. There's a red pair and a blue pair, and it has 4 right angles. The corners make perfect squares. They're perfectly straight across and up and down. Okay. A trapezoid is the final shape that we took notes on, and this only has 1 pair of parallel sides. On this trapezoid, this is the pair. These sides are not parallel because if they continued forever, they would intersect. So a trapezoid only has 1 pair of parallel sides. If it has 2 pair, like the rectangle, it's not a trapezoid. Where we are going to continue today is with a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram. So get your notebook ready. We are going to write that a parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Hey, Miss Sousa, a square has 2 pairs of parallel sides. You are correct. A square is a parallelogram. Hey, Miss Sousa, a rectangle has 2 pairs of parallel sides. You are correct. A rectangle is a parallelogram. Remember that example, just like a family. Jeremiah Sousa, Axel Sousa, Stephanie Sousa. We're all Sousas, but we're each different, okay? So shapes can fit into other families. So let's go ahead and write down about that parallelogram. Remember, if you are on Seesaw, you don't have to be able to see my screen well because you have the work right in front of you. So your work's in 2 places. We're just writing it down to give our brain another opportunity to practice the language. Alrighty, so let's make another section here. Our final quadrilateral, as you just discovered, is a parallelogram. Let's write down that word. It is very long. Give yourself space. Hi. 1 second, kiddos. A parallelogram. Now, as you found out, a parallelogram can be a square, a parallelogram can be a rectangle, a parallelogram can be a rhombus, but you can draw any of these. I'm going to draw a parallelogram like this. Remember, your parallelogram does not have to look like mine. It can look like mine, but it does not have to. I am just showing you that a parallelogram is a parallelogram no matter which direction it is turned, okay? So again, parallelograms have 2 pairs of parallel sides. I'm going to draw the purple pair. I'm going to draw the orange pair to show the 2 different pairs, okay? So a parallelogram has 2 pair of parallel sides. And just like that family example, it can be a rhombus, it can be a square, it can be a trapezoid. All of those are parallelograms. They fit into the family of parallelograms. All right. Yes, William.
Xed it.
Yes, Tim. Tim must have been an accident on the hand raising as well. Okay. And you know what? I changed my mind. Y'all don't have to know kite, so we're not going to take notes on it. I just want your notes to be what you need to know and not extra info. So that's our last one for today. How about that? Parallelogram has 2 pair of parallel sides. So does a square, so does a rectangle, so does a rhombus. So squares, rectangles, and rhombuses are all parallelograms. Okay? Now, when we are naming shapes, we are going to name shapes with the most specific name, okay? For the same reason that we do that with people, all right? If I am talking to someone and they're trying to get my attention and they say, Susa, I might turn around, my husband might turn around. Later on when Axel understands, he might turn around. My husband's dad might turn around because we're all Susa. So if you just say Susa, it's like, huh? Which one? You want him? You want her? You want me? Who do you want? Okay. Same thing with shapes. We're going to say the more specific names. If we say a parallelogram, the square, the rhombus, and the rectangle are all going to say what? Huh? So we're going to be more specific. We're going to say it is a square. Okay. We're going to say it is a rectangle. So we'll use the most specific names possible. All right. Questions on that? Yes, Jalen.
We were doing a DMR with those. Were we doing halves again?
Were we what?
Were we doing halves on DMR?
Yes, we were reviewing fractions. Yes, Tim.
I was gonna say my dad told me what parallel was yesterday. I need to know what yesterday for the activity.
Parallel lines. They will never touch. They will never cross. And remember, guys, you have those picture examples on your slides right here. Parallel lines. You have a Brain Pop Junior that we have watched. You have a vocabulary that we have watched. Okay? So several ways to find those answers. Alrighty, I am going to hop back up to slide 2. I'm going to play a video for us. As I am playing the video, you are going to listen for examples of quadrilaterals. Okay, I want you to listen for examples of quadrilaterals. Here we go. Oh, boo. And skip. There we go.
And they're quadrilateral. What do these shapes have in common? Yes, they have 4 sides and 4 angles. And they're quadrilaterals. Welcome to Moo Moo Math and Science and Quadrilaterals. However, when you look at these shapes, they're all slightly different. Quadrilaterals are classified according to their side lengths and angles. If you take a look at this chart, we'll try to make sense of this. And as you move down the chart, the quadrilaterals get a little bit more specific. So let's get started. A trapezium, also an irregular quadrilateral, has no parallel sides. A kite has 2 pairs of adjacent sides of the same length. As you move down, a little bit more specific is a trapezoid with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. Next, a parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now, a little bit more specific, a rhombus is a parallelogram with congruent sides. A rectangle is a parallelogram with right angles. And then a square is a combination of both. It's a rectangle with 4 congruent sides. Now, another way you can look at this is using a Venn diagram. You have quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral with no parallel sides would be a kite. A trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel sides. Now you move into the parallelogram, which has 2 pairs of parallel sides. A parallelogram with all right angles would be a rectangle. Parallelogram with 4 congruent sides is a rhombus. And then a square is a combination of both of these. You have a rectangle and a rhombus, so a square has all right angles and 4 congruent sides.
Okay, so again, we see here that family example. All of these are in the family of parallelogram. The trapezoid doesn't have a family. It is the only quadrilateral with 1 pair of parallel sides. It is all by itself. Leah smiles. I used to sing that to her with breakout rooms. So a trapezoid doesn't have a family. Rectangles, squares, and rhombi do have a family, and their family is the parallelogram. Okay, so remember, a square is a rhombus, and a square is a rectangle, and a square is a parallelogram. Its most specific name is square.
So, in summary, you can look at it using this chart, and as you move down the chart, it gets more specific. Or you can use a Venn diagram. I hope that helps in classifying quadrilaterals. If you'd like to know more about quadrilaterals, this playlist will help. And as always,
Alrighty, you have access to this if you would like to watch it later to help you understand that family example, because that is what we are going to focus on today. Right now, you are getting ready to go to a breakout room. You are going to review these notes with your partner. Here's how we're going to do that. William, would you pretend to be my partner, please?
Okay.
Thanks. Hi, partner.
Hi, partner.
How are you today?
Good. How are
I'm
you?
glad to- Thanks for asking. I'm doing okay. I'm glad you're good. So, partner, would you like to read first, or do you want me to read first?
You can read first. If you want
Okay,
to.
I'm going to read slide 3. Quadrilaterals. There are many different types of quadrilaterals. We identify quadrilaterals using their sides and angles. So, William, this is a side. It's like the edge or the line segment on a shape, and an angle is the corner or the point where that shape is. All right, William, you read slide 4 to me.
Okay. It says a rhombus is a quadrilateral that has 4 equal sides and 2 pairs of parallel sides. It says this rhombus has 4 quadrant sides and 2 pairs of parallel sides. Can a square be a rhombus? A square can be a rhombus because it's just turned a different angle, and then the points are the 4 corners on the rhombus.
Yeah, so I agree, partner. I think that a square can be a rhombus. I want to be careful about the different angle, though, because this isn't a square. Think about if we turned that on its side, those corners would look like this. They'd be really skinny. And a square has to have right angles. So I agree, it can be a square, but this one is not a square. See how William and I just had conversation? See how there was a question and then we talked about it? That's what you're going to do with your partner. So one of your partners can read a slide, then the next partner can read the next slide, then the next partner reads that slide, then back to the other partner, and you're going to have a conversation about slides 3 through 9. Okay? So partner 1 reads slide 3, partner 2 reads slide 4, partner 1 reads slide 5, partner 2, read slide 6, and go back and forth until you finish the slides, okay? Now, we are kind partners, so we know that some of our friends may struggle with reading and they may not be comfortable. We are not going to be jerks and say, you have to read it. We're going to help our partners out, right? Okay. If there's a word that they don't say, we're going to help them out with it. If they can't read it, then maybe we can read it for them and then they can answer the questions. We are going to be kind partners, okay? All right. When you get into your breakout room, please be ready to decide who is going to read first. You are going to read slides 3 through 9 to each other. All ready? All ready. If you missed it, you missed it. Sorry, YouTube. I love you. All right. Final one. Put a plus sign on the quadrilaterals with 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 right angles. Put that X in the front, duplicate it up. 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 right angles. Look at those notes. Right angles make corners that have squares. See that? Which 2 quadrilaterals have right angles? Which 2 have right angles? Leah, help me out. Which 2 quadrilaterals have right angles? She's going back.
A rectangle.
Uh-huh. And a?
Square.
Beautiful. Right there. Square, 4 right angles. Rectangle, 4 right angles. Let's go put that plus sign in those rectangles and in those squares. Here are right angles. Here are right angles. Here are right angles. Here are right angles. And here are right angles. All right, kids. This is a visual representation of all the families that a quadrilateral can belong to. Look at all of the attributes that these quadrilaterals share, okay? You will use this to help you complete the independent work today. Your independent work is slides 11 through 16. On each slide, there is the name of a quadrilateral. For example, this one is a square. You will draw each quadrilateral and fill in the information. So draw a square and then tell me. Use your notes. Use your notes. Oh man, my computer's acting so weird. It's like flipping through all these things. Hold on, I gotta figure it out. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on, use your notes, use your notes, use your notes. Okay, all right. Oh, okay, cool. I got it under control. We're good. Okay. You're going to look at how many equal sides, how many pairs of parallel sides, and how many right angles each shape has. You're going to do that for each slide. On slide 17, as always, you will use the mic to explain your success with today's skill. Remember, don't just read this to me, okay? Y'all did not do everything on this page today. You did this thing and you did this thing and you used this vocabulary. So don't just read this to me. Some of y'all have gotten real cute and just started reading me the whole dang page. That don't tell me nothing other than you know how to read. This ain't reading class, it's math, okay? Tell me how you know what the shapes are. Tell me how you know you drew an example. Tell me how you know what these words mean, okay? All right, y'all. That's your work. Love you. Bye.